Hello, I'm Eric Althen. I've been writing, directing, acting, and editing in YouTube sketches since 2009. I currently have no manager, agent, or representation in any way. I'm 21 years old, I live in New York City, and this is my SNL Audition Tape. Before I get started, I'd just like to dedicate this, if that's even a thing, to my mother and to Lauren Michaels, who's always felt like a second mother to me. Initially, because I thought he was a woman. Anyway, here we go. This is my impression of Owen Wilson seeing boobs for the first time. Wow. This is Owen Wilson jerking off for the first time. Ka-chow! It's like the impressions are there, like you know who I am, but they're not great. If your first jerk off wasn't you lying on your back, dry tugging it thinking you're a Spanish teacher, I'd think you're lying.
No, not really, no. That was not no.
This is a character that I think would go really well with the show. It's a guy who dances at inappropriate places. So, Kate McKinnon and whoever's the host that week will be crying at a funeral. The camera will pan out and you'll just see me dancing happy as can be. I'd like to give you a little snippet of a stand-up routine I've been working on for a couple months now. So, here we go. When I was younger, my grandfather took me out. Not in a romantic way, of course. He was my grandfather, for God's sakes. He took me on a day out to the park. And I was having a blast on the swings, on the gymnasium, the jungle gym, whatever you want to call it. And we were walking and talking on the field when I noticed in the near distance a unattended birthday cake. Just on one of those old wooden tables. And I looked at the cake, I looked up at my grandfather, I looked back at the cake, I looked back to him, I said, should we? Could we? He looked down at me and said, son, I am a US veteran, I can do whatever the hell I want. He took the cake and we ate the whole thing, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't until years later I found out my grandfather was actually never a veteran in any branch of the army. He just liked to shoot people while on vacation. And my grandfather, a great man, so I thought, he did, though, leave me a pretty big inheritance. My name on a government watch list. How can I tell a racist joke without people getting mad at me thinking I'm a racist? Like I've seen Get Out, like, it's all good.
You don't. You just don't.
Besides guy who dances at inappropriate places, I really don't have any characters, though I do have some names. Manuel Corkscrew, Long John Tittytown, Mac Ginsburg, Mayor Turtletop, Pico de Gallo, and Todd. I have a lot of ideas. One is like this guy who works at some cubicle desk, and he's a klutz, like grade A goof. And his coworker stands up from his cubicle desk and is like, man, the boss is on his way. You gotta calm down. You gotta compose yourself, man, or you'll get fired. Finally, the boss shows up. And the boss is just as clumsy as the first guy. It will be a true romp. People in tree costumes go to someone's house and they start talking about, wasting paper and all the trees that are cut down for your little post-it note that you just crumple up and toss away, talking about maybe using a whiteboard, a laptop, a tablet, something else to jot down ideas that doesn't kill trees. And yes, Portlandia did do this. I was watching last night, such a funny show, but I just thought, fuck it, why not? Just rip it off. Subverting expectations is funny. So we see a woman and she's about to meet her brother's first boyfriend and she thinks they're gonna be all polite and clean and nice, but what we find out is they're a couple rowdy, wrestling, Xbox playing, beer drinking, pizza eating bros. Wait! This was also on Portlandia. God, that's such a funny show. Fuck! SNL, let me get real with you for a second. You have been sucking Donald Trump's teat since he started his campaign, and I personally hold you responsible for normalizing him with Alec Baldwin coming in so much, and the new wave of comedians that's punchline is just Donald Trump, when their joke had nothing to do with politics whatsoever. It's moronic and it makes me upset physically. But you know what? I'm in show business. I gotta give the people what they want, so here you go. There was no joke there, but I bet you just pissed your pants with laughter. You know, something for a digital short, you know, maybe this guy's walking around and he's confronted with a good thing or a bad thing, and then we have these little guys, little devil on his shoulder, Chip, little nice guy, Greg over here. This is a good, I'm gonna write this down actually, this is a great YouTube video idea.